Hello, my name is Dr. Willow Anderson, and I'm an independent researcher, and this is my colleague,
Dr. Dolores Mullings, Assistant Professor in the School of Social Work.
And we would like to tell you about the results of a study that we did in Labrador some time ago, approximately from March 2014 to March 2015. The presentation we're going to do for you today is called Settlement Opportunities for Newcomers in Labrador. What are the gaps in services? So a little bit about our research. We're investigating issues associated with settlement and integration of newcomers in a community in Labrador. And when we say newcomers, what we mean is immigrants, refugees, and temporary foreign workers in this case.
And we approach this research from a community engaged perspective. And basically what that means is that the research was driven by the community. So the Harris Center had gone into the community and did some consultation, and the community had identified that they wanted a piece of research around this issue. So we went in, we did the research, we partnered with community people, collaborated with newcomers, and because we believe that it's important to hear those voices. This research is important, not only for our province here in Newfoundland and Labrador, but across the country. Our province in particular has some unique challenges in terms of the size and the kind of labor market shortages that we're experiencing. But we also have some issues around the possibility of how people can be integrated into their communities when they come, and specifically around the kind of social services that we might have to support them.
So there were several phases to this project. First of all, we wanted to consult with the community. We collaborated with a local advisory board. We visited the community, and we met with several community partners. And then we implemented an online survey. In phase 2, we collected and analyzed the data. We formulated questions for interviews. We interviewed participants. We analyzed the data. And we are sharing the findings with the community. We have and we continue to. The research questions for this project were the following. What are the settlement experiences of newcomers and temporary foreign workers to rural areas? What organizations are currently assisting with settlement and integration of newcomers and temporary foreign workers into their region? And how are they assisting those individuals? And what additional services would aid newcomer and temporary foreign workers in their settlement and integration into that area?
And we're just going to tell you a little bit about how we were able to gather the information. So we posted the survey online, and we asked people to answer 20 questions. And we interviewed a number of people, and we had 7 interview questions, which were flexible when we spoke with people. So we had 10 people who logged on to the internet to try and complete the survey. Unfortunately, after a while, a few people stopped responding, and in the end, 4 completed it. When we did the individual interviews, we interviewed 1 person. We had 2 focus group discussions. One of the focus groups had 3 people, and the other one had 4 people. In total, we had 12 people. All the people were from the Philippines, and they were all temporary foreign workers and permanent residents.
The 5 important things that came out of this study are as follows. People have experienced some difficulty with some of their employment. Some employers may not understand the different experiences of temporary foreign workers or people who want to become permanent residents, and some people felt a little uncomfortable with bringing up some of these difficulties at work. Some people had positive impressions of the region and the establishment of their relationships with local people, and this was very useful in their integration to the local community. Some people did face difficulty in trying to settle, however, such as these problems that people may have at work. And a lot of people make sacrifice for their families in their home countries. Enormous amounts of people send money home to their home countries, and so they make sacrifices in their local living in order to send money home. And finally, temporary foreign workers in particular are very, very vulnerable given their status as temporary in the country, and so they may not bring up issues that they have in the workplace or with co-workers as a result. In terms of employment and its difficulties, here are some quotes from some of the participants we heard from. But you know, we just keep our mouths shut because we're not permanent residents. And another person, well, it's hard when you're not a permanent resident, right? You're just a contract worker, so all you need to do is be good to your employer, even if they're not treating you so nice, right? We don't want to have trouble, so we just keep it in our minds and crying when we get home. And one more thing we want to mention, people did have positive impressions of the region and the people. But I found that this place is a nice place, a quiet place, and like I said before, people here are very nice people. They're very kind. I don't say anything about the people here in Labrador. They're very, very nice people. They show you how much they care for you.
Another thing that came out of this study is the vulnerability of the temporary foreign workers. And one person said, so if I have a chance to talk with the immigration officer, we just simply ask for some consideration for those Filipinos which is already here in Canada. Not too many in Labrador, in whole Canada. It is to give them a small or a little consideration that we can stay here for a long time, or just give us certificate of permanent residency so we can earn more money for our family in the Philippines. So this was a huge piece that came out of the research, is that people really wanted to stay in Canada, not only to make money, but also they wanted to stay and bring their families here to make a life for themselves and their families. So we wanted also to know who is offering support to the group of people that we spoke with. And there appears to be very little support from organizations or government agencies when they face difficulties. So specifically, any kind of formal institutions or agencies funded by the government or any business, they found that they didn't have any support from those places. The major support came from within the Filipino community itself, and from co-workers and from employers as well. So if they needed to fill out forms, if they needed to find a doctor, if they needed to change jobs, those supports came from those people I mentioned. And specifically, there are a number of topics, areas that they definitely didn't feel supported in, and specifically when trying to complete documentation for permanency, for example. That was a huge one that people mentioned.
The recommendations in the short term are that the Labrador Relations Agency develop a relationship with newcomers and temporary foreign workers to develop trust and provide information. Also, to determine how to improve communication between the Office of Immigration and Multiculturalism's Provincial Nominee Program and the PNP applicants themselves, and formally support organizations that are already helping settlement and integration in that area. Recommendation in the longer term is to organize community sessions in the area to explore the experience of employers who hire temporary foreign workers and the workers themselves. And also that the Department of Advanced Education and Skills explore a way to expand funding so that local service organizations can provide support to newcomers in their community. In terms of the community organizations and individuals that we'd like to thank Ilaria Pivi, who helped us as a research assistant in this project. Hazel Alwano El Puerto, also someone we'd like to call HG, who is a key informant. The Pogi Oriental Goods Store, Laura Jackson, who helped as an editor. Lisa Densmore, who's a regional partnership planner with the Office of Public Engagement. Michelle Snow in the Office of Public Engagement as well.
And we would like to give a special recognition and thank you to our community advisory group, which included Noreen Kareen, who is at the Labrador West Status of Women Council, Patsy Ralph from the Labrador West Chamber of Commerce, and Inspector Paula Walsh, who is with the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. We'd also like to acknowledge the people that offered us funding, money, so that we could get back and forth to Labrador and complete this project. So the Office of Public Engagement in the provincial government, the Office of Public Engagement at Memorial University, the Quick Start Fund, the town of Wabush, Colin Vardy, the mayor, the town of Labrador City, Karen Olford, the mayor, and the School of Social Work at Memorial University. We'd especially like to thank the people who spoke with us to contribute to the research, because without them, there would be no research. And if anyone would like further information and details about the research itself or what we're doing as we move forward, you may contact me at the contact information, email information listed on the front slide. Thank you.
Thank you.